Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Huddle, a black and gold podcast starring Gage Ryan. How you doing, Gage?
Sensational. How are you, my friend?
Oh man, as you Ron, I am doing fantabulous after the big dub on Sunday. Right? So,
Oh man.
well, okay. Are you guys just completely blown away by the fact that they won their first? You know. By the way, thank you all for joining Huddle, a black and gold podcast starring Gage Ryan and Ron Mott, and we will be all things black and gold, and maybe a couple of things to steal. If you got a collection of terrible towels, do you get the chills when you hear Renegade? Well, then Yins will fit right in because we're here to talk all things Steelers, and we're talking all things week number 2 against the Seattle Seahawks home opener in Pittsburgh this coming Sunday. Gage, got to see you in the 5-star for pregame.
It was a good time.
Right?
It was a good time. We
That
got to
was
make sure we get
awesome.
Steve
It
on here at
was.
some point.
Trust me. I've been harassing him and hounding him via text. Hey, when are you coming on? Oh, I can't tonight. All right, catch you next time. Okay. So at some point, the great 5-star matchup will be on the show. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, it's a 5-star
That'll be
matchup
fun.
because he's in it. Okay. By the way, you got to hop on over to Patreon/5SMU. Get yourself subbed up, signed up, $4, $7. And you get all the great stuff there for 5-star matchups. So shout out to 5. Okay.
So here, I have a quick question for you.
You got it.
Is it fair to say, so between the defense, which had plenty of struggles, between our run game, which had plenty of struggles, between our like high tier receiver in DK Metcalf, who had a good day, but definitely had a couple Deontay
Some
Dropsons in
struggles.
there. Is it fair to say that the only person that didn't have a bad day or didn't have a 50-50 day was Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh.
That doesn't play special teams.
Ooh. Okay.
Because of course Chris Boswell, is a murderer and all that. He absolutely is.
You
But if we're talking
know.
about between offense and defense, I think we got one guy who's like the unanimous MVP of the
I
week.
saw the perfect meme for Chris Well.
What is it?
Have you guys ever seen the story?
What is it?
The Christmas story
Yes.
with the Red Ryder BB gun? And a
Yes.
dad wins an amazing award.
Mm.
And the amazing award is a leg, right? And it's okay, it's in a lampshade, it's a lady's leg, it's in fishnet stockings, but you get my point. Okay? That's what I feel about Chris Bott. And the meme that I saw was a picture of Ralphie standing or kneeling down at the bottom and looking up like this at the leg. And the little caption said Chris Boswell's leg, and then down there were little Ralphie, Steelers fans. I'm like, that is the absolute perfect meme for Chris Boswell when it comes to how the Steelers fans feel about him. Because
Chris Boswell should never in a million years, I say Chris Boswell should never for the rest of his life ever have to even touch his wallet when he's in Pittsburgh. That man should never have to pay for anything ever again. They should let him bypass any kind of taxes that he has to pay. That man should get a key to the city. He is the GOAT, period.
yeah, okay. Here you go, Mr. Boswell. Yeah, here you go, right? 6 bloody yard field goal. And it had way more. He could have kicked that from the 40. R40. Right? That's a 70-yard field goal. No, no, no. If you watch that ball, right? You watch that ball go through the uprights. By the way, right down the pipe. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any more centered down the
It was
goalpost.
perfect.
Okay. You guys are getting
Yeah,
what I'm
man.
saying here.
Chris Boswell has done what no other Steeler kicker has even come close to. I always like to mention that he has more 50-plus yard field goals made than every other Steelers kicker put together.
Dude, all you have to do is go back into history and look at the Matt Bars and the Chris Bars. Those were the
Mm.
kickers. And I'm not going to mention Jarella. He wasn't really all that good.
Nah.
Right? Because Chuck Noll would try to
Didn't he
do
miss like
anything he
3
could.
kickers?
He would try to do could to not have him out there. Anyway,
Yeah, didn't he miss like 3 field goals in a Super Bowl or something?
yes. So, like I said, but when you talk about the Matt bars and the Chris bars and the those guys will go down in the annals of all time Steeler histories as having that same kind of golden leg, brass balls. In fact, one of the bars was a barefoot kicker. Okay, a barefoot kicker in Pittsburgh. How you doing? Okay,
That needs to come back.
yeah. Okay, I'm with you on that, right? All day long. Barefoot kickers. Are you kidding me? Out there in minus 20 degrees with one sock on and one shoe on and one sock off and one shoe off. All right, you walk a little funny too when you got cleats on and you got. Anyway, so let's talk about a few things that happened here in this game, like you mentioned, and let's start off with the elephant in the room. Mister got a bump salary, Mr. Hayward, Mr. Jordan Watt, Mr. Alex Highsmith. I barely heard their names called. I saw 3 or 4 plays from Alex Highsmith and about 4 or 5 good plays from TJ Watt. Okay?
That's about what I
But
counted.
they were non-factors in what they're paid to do. Rush the quarterback. Okay?
For a long time, the Steelers had this reputation for being able to stop mobile quarterbacks. But within the last season or two, doesn't it feel like that's started to change? It feels like quarterbacks have started to figure it out.
Excuse me, did y'all spend a year with that kid? And aren't most of y'all the same guys back on defense? And the same coaches and everything else? I mean, Steve said it perfectly in the show. Week 1 always favors the defense. Not
In
always,
100% of cases.
but not always. But you get what I'm saying, right? Okay. So I was blown away by a couple of things. Let's start off with the good. I thought Jalen Ramsey had a monster game. I thought Darius Slay could have just slayed on the bench. I mean, stayed on the bench. Right? You give up an easy touchdown like that? I mean, I could have picked that ball off. Not really, but you're getting paid all that kind of money to go up there and get the ball, and you all just let him crossing perfect. I mean, you saw it coming. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, like Darius Slay was a signing that I think that a lot of people were kind of 50-50 on, right? I don't think that it was something that like people were, oh my God, we're getting him in his prime. But it also wasn't like, oh, we're getting a completely washed. Like people were like, he's still going
Agreed.
strong at 34, wherever he's at. But like for one week in, it left a lot to be desired, that's for sure. As far as Jalen Ramsey goes, he had a decent game. I wouldn't say it was amazing. He did get burned, and it was definitely more than once. Right. But at the end of the day, in the most important part of the game, what did he do? He stepped up and won us the game.
He had the 5-star play of the game, right?
So, he did, 100%.
Right? Okay, and when you can ball like that, I mean that's what Ronnie Lott would call a woo hit, right? Because when you get hit like that, and the whole crowd goes woo, right? And you heard the crowd after that pop. Okay. Anyway.
That was a completed pass, all things considered. That wasn't like it was good timing, but he had it for all intents and purposes.
He had possession. He absolutely had possession, and dude just said nuh-uh and just knocked it out of him. All right. So Aaron Rodgers, I gotta say I was surprised about what he did. We'll get to the offense here in a second. Defense, though, the injury to Ben Elliott, that's going to hurt bad. Pittsburgh went out and signed Jabril Peppers to come in and help fill the gap there a little bit. They also put Skyler on the IR, right? And what was his name? Holcomb on the linebacker.
Yeah, Cole Holcomb. I mean, I don't know if has he even returned since the last time? I'm not even.
I don't know, but he's on IR again. or now or whatever. That's what the moves they did. They signed Jabril Peppers and then they brought up Logan, right? And they signed him to the practice squad. So they're going to carry. So they're probably just carry Mason and Aaron into Seattle, right? And they probably won't dress Logan.
They're moving puzzle pieces around. I mean, like a lot of this is injury related, but I also think that some of it is like let's see what we can find. I mean, there's definitely what last week was definitely not it defensively. We made a good play at the end of the game, but we made Justin Fields look elite. And if we made Justin Fields look elite, not that he's bad necessarily, but if that's what he can do, what exactly is Josh Allen going to do to us?
Or Lamar Jackson, or the fact that he had time to make sandwiches back there and pick us apart, okay? Because you're right. Y'all made Strawberry Fields look like an elite quarterback. He had over 102 passer rating for the day. Okay? Not only that, but he exploded for fantasy points because he ran the ball for, a couple of scampers and first downs. And the fact that
Every time he needed it.
The fact that he got it every time he needed it and the touchdown that he scored. I mean, every single person on the defense, yeah, he's going there, but no, he's already scoring.
You knew that he was either gonna sneak it from there, or he was gonna keep it on a quarterback keeper, so to speak.
Or something.
And you saw which one he took.
You saw that? Oh, okay. All know that he has legs, and you don't put anybody out there to contain? I don't care if it's 4th and 1 and the whole offensive line lines up on the same spot on the ball. You got to put somebody out there. That's not a fault of the players. Okay? Because it's not their job. They're in the formation that they were told to be in. They're following orders. Now, if I was a TJ Watt or somebody like that, I'd have stepped out of the box a little bit down there and at least walked over there a little bit, Because what are you going to do? Stand there at the back of the what? Come on.
It was just strange that we had no answer for him at pretty much any point. And it was I thought that we were in a lot of zone coverage, but then I come to find out we had like the 3rd highest blitz rate in the league through 1 week. So that was actually shocking to me to hear. So if that's true, and I assume that it is because it's from a reliable source, but if that's true, then I think that just means that we have a hard time getting any kind of pressure on the quarterback, seemingly.
You're telling me that we blitzed a significant amount of time and we weren't able to get home? I think what was there, 3 sacks on him?
Something like that, yeah.
3 sacks on him? Now, on any given Sunday, that would be a good day. 3 sacks on the quarterback. Okay? But not when he's a running quarterback, and you should have had somebody like we talked about on the last show. You should have had somebody spying him, so just in case he was going to scamper off out into the out, you'd have had somebody going with him. They had nobody on him at all the whole game. There was no spy on Justin Fields at all. Right? And that's why he was able to do exactly what he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. Okay? And you notice he didn't throw the ball past, 20 yards? Maybe? I don't think.
Very seldom.
Right? Because he can't. Right? His accuracy is not. It has a lot to be desired. I say that, right? And I'm gonna say this too, right? Jets balled out. Okay, they came to play, right?
It was a fun game to watch.
It was. They were kicking snot and eating dirt, right? And it was a great game. And what we said that needed them below the trenches was lost by the Steelers and won by the Jets. As far as I'm concerned, they had over 160 yards on the ground. Come on.
It's funny. People were kind of making the joke on TikTok earlier That well, did the Steelers stop the run? No. Well, did they stop the pass? No. Did they stop the quarterback from running out of the pocket and getting first downs? No. Well, did they at least run the ball well? No. And you're like, okay, so they lost, right? And you're like, nope, because Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Aaron Rodgers. Now, let's get this out of the way now, okay? All right, and I'm sorry about the dog. Because I think she might like Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, 4 touchdown passes. Gage, what was the first thing that I texted you during the game? The very
I,
first
I,
text that you got from me during the game. We
you were
scored
like, this
on our
offense is terrible
opening
or something.
drive. No, no, no. We scored on our opening drive. The first time in like 3 seasons.
Oh yeah,
Scored on the opening drive.
it has been a while.
At least 3 seasons. Pittsburgh has the all-time lowest success rate when it comes to opening drives. Not just at beginning of games, but at the end of the half and you're coming out for the second half. How many times does that second half drive? 3 and out or a big punt or whatever. Now, I gotta say, I was a little shocked by the amount of going for it's on fourth down, especially from the Jet side and especially from Mike's side. What are you doing, Mike? You got a pretty good punter. Kick the ball.
I
Because
honestly think that they just left it all up to Rodgers. It just kind of seemed like Tomlin was more than content with putting Rodgers in Ben's old role and saying, get the personnel that you want, run the plays that you want. This the offense is your baby. And not that I even really mind about that because we've seen what happens when Mike Tomlin gets a little more involved in the offense and it leaves a little bit to be desired, shall we say.
that's a good way to put that. I like what Rodgers and Smith, Arthur Smith,
Mm-hmm.
are putting together. I like what DK Metcalf said at the end of the game during his interview. Um, he did the obligatory, yeah, the guys played great and the team played well and blah 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 blah, and he said, but I'm disappointed in myself. And the lady was like, well, what do you mean? He said, man, he said I could have played better. That's what he said.
Good to be honest with himself. It's better than you'd rather have that from a guy than the I played great. I have no weaknesses in my game. That's not going to be
Right.
very productive.
No. Okay, so I'm with you. All right. So okay, I was impressed by that. I really we were going to see more Fryermuth and Johnu Smith. We saw a little bit more Johnu than we did Fryermuth.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw a
Johnny
lot.
Smith. Johnny Smith was surprisingly good. He did better than I expected.
Do you
And
know
I mean, it's
why?
not why
You know
because of
why we
Arthur
saw
Smith
more of him? Yeah, because he played with him in Atlanta, and he's like,
everywhere
"Hey,
else.
come on out." Yeah, right. Okay, so but we're thankful to have Mr. Smith. Thank you, and we're also
No,
thankful to
it's
have Mr. Smith.
no, but it's true. And the fact that
It
this is
is.
like the third or fourth team that he has followed Arthur Smith too. And I will say that to his credit, Johnu has been a productive member of his offense pretty much everywhere he's gone, including here. He's okay.
He,
I was no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, no, no. He's a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah, no, and I mean he's been solid. And what I love is that this offense in general, reverting back to Aaron Rodgers for just a little bit of time. I don't want it to be an Aaron Rodgers dominated show, but I do love that there seems to be a nice mixture of what Aaron wants to do and what Arthur wants to do. There isn't
Okay. Yeah, I like
there
that.
isn't shotgun five wide on every play like we've seen years past with a certain somebody. Like there's a mixture there. There's an offense that does things right, which is something we're not really accustomed to in Pittsburgh.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm with you on that, and I like that fact, and I like what they did. Um, I like how things went as far as
Mm-hmm.
that. I was very, very disappointed in the offensive line, most
Yeah.
specifically Broderick Jones.
Uh, Say it. It's okay. Yeah.
I had
He's
such
on a
high.
quick path to bust territory.
Steve said the same thing. I, I had such high hopes for him because he was such an powerful and awesome player coming out of college, but it's just not translating. His
Not so
college
far
game,
now.
has college. He's kind of a one trick pony, and he's not holding his blocks long enough. He's not engaged. He's allowing other players to use their hands on him and him. And he is a big human being. And those guys should not be moving him. I saw tight ends moving him. Okay, that's not how that should be going. Okay, you should be standing them guys up and planting them on the butt. Okay, but that's not how it happened. Like I said, there were when I saw flashes, but not enough. The fact that we had
Not enough.
we didn't even have 100 yards rushing.
No, and I mean, like on plenty of attempts, it wasn't for lack of trying. Like he was a little bit of running it straight into the dirt, if you will. Not that I blame him. You don't want to run it you don't want to throw it every single play, and especially with Rodgers being 47 or however old he is. And
51.
yeah, a day shy of 65.
Oh yeah, there you go, Deja. But
But
I'm
it like
yeah,
honestly, it's okay. Like it could be worse. Like I think that we're in a good spot headed into the next game. And I mean, we have the Seahawks, who are I think another good. It's not like this. This sounds like you look past them, but I'm not trying to make it seem that way. But they're also a good fodder for how good this team is, or they're a
this
good
is
gauge, I should say.
yeah. Oh, hey, namesake. All right, it's going to be a good gauge for them, that's for sure, because they Seattle is no joke. Look, there is no
Mm-mm.
joke teams in the NFL. There's no joke teams in the NHL. Any given night, any the stars could align, and you never know, somebody could light it up. You're not a professional player for no reason at all. You're not getting paid millions of dollars to be on a team to stink. You're trying to win. You're
Mm.
good, so you're not trying to stink. You know what I mean? So Seattle's going to be a good test. It's going to be a return for DK Metcalf. Okay, I'm playing against his old team. This is the home opener here for Pittsburgh on Sunday. All right, here we go. This is that time of the show where we lay it out there, baby. So talk to me, Gage. What do you think about the boys this Sunday?
Chances this Sunday, I think we're gonna win. If Aaron Rodgers continues showing what he showed in week one, I think our chances of losing are I won't say slim, but I think that we have the advantage. We have even if we have like 75% of Aaron Rodgers, which he's shown more of that, but let's say he tapers out around there. That is still pretty solid. And we have that compared to who's Seattle's quarterback now? Is it Sam Darnold? I can't actually remember.
Yeah.
It's Sam Darnold. I listen, and not that they have a decent coach and they have a decent roster and whatnot, but this just feels like if everything goes like it should, we should be 2-0.
You
What do
know
you
what
think?
I'm afraid of?
What?
I'm look, if Aaron Rodgers continues to take shots like he did this past Sunday, he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers much longer. Okay? It's tough getting up off the turf when you get hit like that. Okay?
17 games is a long time.
That's right. And you're that old, you don't get up that quick. So, when a guy nails you like that, and he took a couple of shots. I mean, he wasn't like completely laid out or anything like that, but he still took some shots. He still took some guys around his legs, and I mean, dangerous situations. And that's because of the lack of protection. And I called it. I said he's only going to have about 3 seconds. He's not going to have all day back there just
Seemed like it was quicker than
go
3 seconds.
there.
I feel like
No.
3 seconds, your standards were still too high.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Skipping the 3 seconds. Anyway, we need some run game, fellas. The electric meatball played when he was in. Uh, why aren't you feeding him the rock? You gave him a contract extension. You got rid of Najee, and then I hardly saw him.
It was the Kenneth Gainwell show because he's more of a receiver, I guess, to Aaron Rodgers probably. I mean, who knows if that's true? That's
Okay.
purely speculation. But I mean, like you saw that like he was a check down valve. Not that Jalen's not. I
Yeah.
don't really see what the difference is, but who knows?
And I like him better. I like Jalen Ben out of the backfield because I like
Mhm.
his vision of the field. I like the way he runs. He's low center. He reminds me a lot of Tony Dorsey because he's real low to the ground and he's got that kind of low center of gravity. He just kind of runs over you and rolls through you, you know. And he ain't the biggest guy, but anyway, um, okay.
What's your
I'm
prediction for the
worried.
game? Because I don't know if you gave it.
I didn't because I'm worried with the injury to Elliott, and then they're bringing in Jabril Peppers. I'm worried that the defense was clearly able to stop the Jets, and I put Seattle. I think maybe a tick higher than the Jets, right?
They're
Because
definitely. I
it's
think they're better than the Jets. Probably. I mean, this the Seahawks find a way to be like respectable in like the Pete Carroll kind of way most years.
like I said, than the Jets. So
I think the
they're
Jets
going to be
improved
playing.
too.
Agreed. Their defense definitely improved. They finally got some guys to throw the ball to now, and they actually got a running game. Hey, how about that?
Mhm.
If Seattle comes in and puts those same kind of ball on Pittsburgh, they're not going to have the same kind of result.
I don't think so. You don't
Think
want to be
so?
getting into shootouts every week.
No, no, because we're not on the right side of that,
Nah.
especially not our offensive line. Okay. And our defense, I mean, you might as well just not even put the defense out there and just let the offense from the other side just run, play, they score. Because all you're doing is wasting time. Just let them score.
Does this not feel like kind of sort of like the 2020 year? Not that we're going to go on some kind of win streak or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
they were put they were putting every bit of weight they could on Ben at a time where they really shouldn't have, and I worry that something similar might happen this
Uh
year.
huh. Uh huh. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. I'm feeling the same way. And I agree with you on that 100%. It feels like that, you know, because Aaron Rodgers is actually kind of playing a lot like Ben did. You know,
Hmm.
although I will say this about Aaron Rodgers, he's a little bit more mobile, all things considered, than
Oh
Ben
yeah.
was. Okay,
Yeah.
let's face it, Ben was shotgun and 3 seconds and the ball was out. Right? At least Aaron Rodgers has been playing a lot more under center that we've seen so far this year in Game One than he has in the shotgun.
And in
So,
recent years, especially like with his last year or two in Green Bay under goodness, who's their head coach? I always forget.
oh my gosh, I can't think of it either. But when he
Uh,
was he under McCarthy?
well, yeah, he was under McCarthy for a long time, but his last year or two in Green Bay, he was under one of the Shanahan disciples, if you will, and that's where he had
Yeah,
some of
okay.
his MVP seasons, and he had like his 31 touchdown, 4 pick year, or something like that under that system.
So do you think I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna say this about the game? If if Seattle jumps out in front, we're gonna have a hard time. If
Hmm.
we come out and do and at least on our drive, and every time we have the ball, put up points, we have a chance. But if we punt and do three and outs and whatever, well, we ain't that game. Not against
If we
Seattle.
would like to score points every drive, we're in a good spot. If we need to score points every drive, we're in a
We're in a
bad
bad
spot.
spot. Exactly. See, the man's got to. That's why Gage is the man. Okay, come on. Okay, Pittsburgh needs to play their heinies off, and then they can get the win. But I think they're squeak one out, and I mean squeak. Okay, it's going to be another close one. Might not be the shootout that we had, but I think it's going to be a little closer.
It's like a field goal to win it, kind of at the last
Like
second sort of deal.
17-24 or something stupid like that.
Do you think that there's a chance that it comes down to Boz winning it for us at the last second for 2 weeks in a row?
Hopefully, he gets a little closer to the goalpost instead of quite so far away because
True.
You know, but
Should have
uh,
ran the ball, but hey, listen, like Boz said, one of Boz's best quotes. I always love quoting this man because he's so funny. But he said one time, they'd asked him, "What's your preference? Do you like from the left hash? Do you like the right hash? Do you like somewhere in the middle? What kind of circumstances do you like?" And Boz just looked at him and said, "Put it on the tee. I got it."
that's why he's the solid gold brass balled kicker with a golden leg. Anyway, okay. I do want to say this though. Aaron Rodgers with 4 touchdowns. If he continues that pace, he will be able to break his old 31 touchdown record. I would not be horrible if we saw that. I mean, the fact that we had 4 touchdown
Could you
passes
imagine?
from a quarterback that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers in one game, in
Yeah.
one game, four
In an
touchdown passes.
offensive wasteland like Pittsburgh, it's just weird to see.
Okay, so we're both predicting a win. All right, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. 2-0, Seattle after
2
Seattle
and
2-0.
0.
All right, we're down with that. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We've had a wonderful time sitting here, John, with y'all, and we're gonna have to throw in the terrible towel on this show. And Gage, why don't you tell the folks where we can get you and where we can find you, my man?
You can find my Yu-Gi-Oh content at Gage Ryan Video. You can find my MMA content at Contender MMA, and you can find myself, Steel, Steve, Frayne, and the rest at youtube.com/5-star matchup.
There you go. And oh yeah, wait for it. In a couple of days,
And
hopefully, in a couple of days, hopefully, we'll have the Huddle, a Black and Gold podcast YouTube channel set up for everybody to come and check out. So we're in the process of building all that stuff. And then we'll have it. We'll also be adding this to our new website, which is, oh my gosh, does it look snappy? Wait till you all see the new website. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Trust me when I tell you, you guys are going to be wanting to come to RNJ Media Sports for all your sports needs, especially talking about the black and gold from the huddle. I'm your co-host, Ron Mott. You can find all the stuff out there at rnjmediasports.com. That's rnjmediasports.com. You can follow us on X at rnj_media, and you can find us all over the podcasting platforms. All you have to do is type it in and find us. And that's right, the huddle is now out there in the podcasting land. Go check it out. Every one of your favorite podcasting platforms. We will catch you all on the next episode.